Hello everybody, welcome to Smiling Cats and Dogs. What I'm going to do in this video is introduce you first to this lovely boy. He's called Katsu, and he's one of my regular clients, aren't you, Katsu? So yes, he's one of my regulars, and he's a lovely boy, and he's got a sister as well called Paprika. So you might have seen her on an earlier video that I posted yesterday. But yes, what I want to do in this video today is just take you through a typical visit, really, and also just to mention something that happened in here last night. Now I'm going to do another video possibly later today about how you prepare for having a cat sitter, all the things that you need to consider, because something came up here yesterday, and I'm going to include this in in that video, but I'll mention it here. So yesterday, so we've got a window open just slightly in a room where one of the cats is fed. And the weather was quite nice, wasn't it, yesterday? Certainly yesterday morning, but the wind picked up a little bit yesterday afternoon. And what had actually happened is, with the window being slightly open, it had blown the door shut where there was food. So one of the cats didn't get her food. So it's just to be, a little tip there, just to be aware of your environment before you leave, you know, how you leave things in the house. Oh, this is Paps here. So if any of you saw the video of her last night, that's Paps. But this is Katsu. Paps is slightly more timid, a little bit more shy, although she does know me because I have been looking after these cats for years now. So, but you're a lovely boy, aren't you? Aren't you? Hey. Also, what we've got with this this job is a product that I wanted to just mention. Now, some of you might already be aware of them. I'll show you it. So I'm just going to nip upstairs and get what I want to talk about. So, Katsu, are you going to come with me? So I'm pointing the phone downwards because I'm very aware of client privacy, so I don't film too much of somebody's house when I do these videos. So yeah, so here, what happened here, this was the door that shut. It blew shut, and the food was actually on top of a cupboard. Oh dear, nearly went flying then. Oh my god, the hazards of being a cat sitter. Here we go. That's a classic example. I told you there'd be a bit of humour in these videos, didn't I? Well, you didn't actually see me go flying, but you heard me. Oh my god. Right. Yeah, I wanted to talk about these. So I know this client doesn't actually use them in the way that they're intended anymore, but yeah, they've taken the top off here. So I think what they do now, because they had a similar problem to what I've got at home with one cat stealing the other cat's food. Now, I would consider one of these, but you do pay quite a lot of money for them. I think they're around £100 on Amazon, which is a lot of money. You know, there could be better ways of handling that kind of problem. But yes, if you wanted to consider it and you have got the budget for it, and you've got, say, a multi-cat household where you've got one cat that's stealing the other cat's food, and you're going to be away and you're worried about that. I mean, a cat sitter can kind of police the situation a little bit, like I have to do at home, but not always. There's not always time. So yeah, these work by activating your cat's microchip. Now, microchipping became compulsory recently, in the last year or two. I'm a microchipper, so I do that as part of the business as well. And this product, actually, you program it, and I've never programmed one of them, but by all accounts it's quite easy to do. And it reads the cat's microchip, so it only opens, there's like a plastic covering normally on here, or Perspex covering, and it only opens when the actual cat whose microchip it is stands over it. So that's how it works. So yeah, I'm just going to nip upstairs and I'll just show you Katsu again, because he wants his head scratching, don't you? He wants a fuss? Yeah. I'm just going to nip upstairs and get the other one, because there's two. And one of them actually belongs to Katsu. So bear with me 1 second. Just, as I say, pointing the phone downwards. So here's the other one. Yeah, pointing the phone downwards to protect my client's privacy. So here's the other one. So exactly the same, except with Katsu's, there's never any food left because he eats it all. He loves his food, does Katsu. So yeah, I've got the two feeding bowls here. So what I always do on every single visit, so I always carry my little trusty rucksack with me here, and I've always got items like cloths, bin liners, poop bags, you name it, I've got it in there. And I'll just get one of these out, and I always use my own cloths. If clients have got them, then that's fine. And if you want to leave your pet sitter some supplies, that's always gratefully received. You know, some people do, some people don't. So as a rule, I've always got those handy with me, you know. And I use the poop bags, not always just for poop, but just for what I tend to do, and I think many people appreciate this, is I don't always use the main bin in a client's house for getting rid of, you know, if they're on wet food, for example. I don't chuck the wet food packets in the main bin because they smell, especially if, you know, inevitably there's a little bit left in the packet. You don't want the client coming home to a smelly bin, or if they're gone for a while, I might use the bin, but I empty it every couple of days, and I always make sure that the bin is emptied. Some footage of Katsu there. Always make sure the bin's emptied before the client comes home, so they've got a nice clean empty bin to come back to. So, but what I'm doing here, sorry, I forgot my tripod. I have bought a tripod and I left it at home. So I'm trying to do this with one hand. So I put any old food into one of those bags. So yeah, so with every visit, I give the bowls a good clean. So with these, you've got like a little bit here that I just rinse as well. Right, so make sure everything's clean. Because clients like to come back to clean stuff, so yeah, I always do that. Give the bowls a rinse out. Even when the cats have got dry food, I always do that as well, without fail. It's just a nice touch, just keep everything clean. But yeah, I was talking about, you know, like being aware of your environment and how you leave things before you go, and, you know, just thinking about potential hazards, because, you know, it's Normally you're around, aren't you? You come home from work, and if something's happened, you can put it right straight away. Bearing in mind, most cat sitters come maybe once or twice a day. So if something happens, like a door slamming like that, and the cat hasn't got access to its food, it's several hours again before anything can be done about it. So I had another situation. Somebody had gone away for a couple of weeks, and they've got a dehumidifier. So I'd left their dehumidifier on. And a lot of, like old houses certainly around here anyway, mining country, they're quite old and they're quite prone to damp and humidity. So fair enough, they'd left their dehumidifier on. Bear with me one sec. But hadn't mentioned it to me. So I'd heard a noise in the living room, and I do tend to check around the house anyway, just to make sure, everything's okay. And I'd heard this noise, and I'd gone in to check, and the dehumidifier had been on for a while, and it was full of water. The reservoir needed changing, and the client hadn't mentioned it to me, so I didn't know about it. And so it was going away, doing what it needs to do, but I wasn't aware that it was on. So it filled up with water. So I had a bit of a situation where it was leaking all over the floor, and it was a big dehumidifier as well. Just gonna, Katsu, come here, baby. Right, let's go up with him and show you how much he loves his food. Hey, baby. Hello. Oh. So yes, I hadn't realised it was playing away to itself, and it was leaking everywhere. So things like that, if you leave an electrical appliance on, certainly something like that needs maintaining. I would strongly recommend just being a bit careful with things like that, and letting your pet sitter know that you've got something like that in the house. And sorry, Katsu, I'd always recommend turning any electrical appliances off that aren't needed while you're away as well, because it just saves on electricity, doesn't it? So, oh dear, sorry, I am being a bit clumsy with this water. So yes, typical visit. So I've just done the feeding, just done the washing of the bowls, the feeding. I always change water bowls. Hello, Paps. There she is. Hi. So I always change water bowls on every visit. Some people have got water fountains which can be left a bit longer, I tend to do that, change those every 2 or 3 days. Can be left a bit longer, but I'm careful with things like that. So yeah, and then I would, as a rule, check where all the litter trays are. So in this house there's multiple litter trays. So I'd go around, just see if there's anything in them. Obviously, clean out any debris that might be there. So there's another one there, which is clear. These cats go outside as well, so don't always use a litter. And as a rule, sorry, Perps, I'll get your food in a minute. Right, there's another one there. They're all clean. Because the weather's been nice, and these two like going outside. So yes, here's the other one here. So I'm just going to take that upstairs for us. So I'm going to finish this video shortly. But yeah, so I'd go around, check all the litter trays. Sometimes they need changing more often. So if you've got multi-cats and they're not going outside, it's quite possible that you need to change it daily, so they get changed daily. And then I just spend some time with the cats after that. So if they want a bit of fuss, playtime, you know, if they've got any toys, I always ask clients to just leave any toys out. Here's Paps here, so she likes to climb out of the window, don't you? Hey? You going to say hi? Hello. Another video I did yesterday, I filmed her and she did the most extraordinary yawn. It was the biggest yawn I've ever seen. Right, I'm going to press stop now. So I hope you found this video useful. And yes, there'll be plenty more to come. Okay, take care everybody. Bye-bye.